Pardon the sunglasses, but I'm driving home and it is blinding out here. So I'm a pretty politically passionate person. I don't stay neutral a lot of the time. I take a side. I know that. But I am noticing more and more often that there are people who are taking their personal problems and blaming them on something political. So instead of it just being purely a political issue when we're talking about like immigration or immigration, abortion, the funding for public schools, all of that stuff, it always has some kind of a personal attachment to it. And I often find myself, I do try, even though I'm a very politically passionate person and I am biased, I try and do my darndest to cultivate relationships around me with people who think differently than I do, because there's so much value in being able to see a different perspective when you're factoring in your decisions and your opinions and all of that good stuff. So I see a fair amount of posts on some of my friends' walls that will be a political statement that is politically charged. Like it's pretty emotionally charged, and it's different than what I want. Oh my gosh, this lighting is horrible. Right into the sun. This is just prime time. See, I told you, it was really bright outside. I'm like translucent on my collarbone. This is nuts. Okay, well, I'm just going to soldier forward anyway, and you're going to have to deal with it. They are ideologically different than me, and I have had the privilege of being able to spend some time with these friends recently, usually around the time that they make a political post that I don't agree with. And I'm able to like, my heart starts pumping. I start to think, well, of all the reasons why I disagree with them. And then I have to stop and say, what did you learn about them the last time that you interacted with them? There's something else going on in their life. And they told you about it. And they are trying to vent some of the frustration of their personal life onto the political arena. What's really happening is they're frustrated with A, B, C, and D that's going on in their life. And then E just so happens to come across their news feed, and they're like, that's the last straw. I can't take it anymore. So I've got to say something about E at least, because there are so many other problems that I can't solve, or that I don't have the energy to tackle yet. So I'll tackle E. So I just wanted to voice some of those thoughts and remember, just like as an invitation for myself and for everyone else when they're engaging on political topics with someone who is ideologically different than them, and they express frustration about something, or like really wanting to drive home a point that you don't agree with, step back and remember that person is probably experiencing something in their personal life that is the majority of where their feelings are coming from, and that this political subject just so happened to be the thing that they thought they could tackle that day. That so often it's so much easier for us as humans to blame a system, to blame a government, a corporation, a group of people that are unrelated to us in our personal life for our problems. I fall into that all the time. So I know it from experience. And very often when I'm distressed or when I'm frustrated or when I'm wanting to go online and just like make a very impassioned post for my side of the aisle, I have to remember and dig through and say, this feeling is actually not about politics, is it? Because politics is actually fairly dry. So when people bring in a lot of extra angst to a political subject, it's probably because something else is happening in their personal life. And I have to remember that for myself all the time and say, where is this feeling actually coming from for me? And then when I'm dealing with someone else, wondering, what's going on with you, my friend? Like, why do you feel this need right now to get out some frustration? What's going on in your life? Tell me about you. And very often, I have found that the best solution to political differences is to actually just care about each other and nurture our relationships. Put the politics aside and just ask the question, how's my friend doing today? And if you have to do that for yourself too, I know I have to. My gosh, what is with all of the motorcyclists right now? Woof! Anyway, so it's important to tap in and say, How's my friend doing today? How am I doing today? What's going on? Because then I think, because most important of all in this world are our relationships, period. There's nothing more important than the people that we care about and nurturing the connection that we have between us and them. That is the most important. And if you're going to let something as trivial as a political subject get between you and your relationship, you're doing something wrong. You're absolutely doing something wrong. And as mature individuals who believe in a collective humanity, we should be able to have rich relationships with people who don't see the same things that we do. That's a huge blessing and a benefit in our lives. It keeps us in touch with reality, a reality outside of ourselves. And it's uncomfortable, sure, but it's so enriching. So there's your little car talk for today. Yep. Signing off. All right. Bye.